So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you're viewing this. I wanted to record a video about feeling-based relating and how it has impacted my life, what kind of changes have come about within me, however you want to describe it. I, like many people, had a lot of hidden and not so hidden beliefs that were in charge of the decisions I made. I was reserved. I thought that I had nothing of value to share. And, when you carry a certain belief and you carry that frequency, so I thought nobody would listen to me and nobody would value what I share. So I carry that frequency and you get proven right. You see what you believe. And I was self-conscious about my looks, and as an older woman, I was self-conscious about um, the aging. I have a skin condition called rosacea, which makes the skin red, and I would feel self-conscious. I didn't like to be in pictures because of that, because it looked like I was an alcoholic or something. And well, I'm not going to sit here and tell you all the things because I kind of like myself, but I don't want to make it sound like I went from some horrid, awful, experience of life into just a grand experience of life. But I wasn't living life fully. I wasn't feeling fully. I was great at suppressing my emotions, not even knowing what I was feeling. And I stumbled across the Brave New Life community and the Zoom calls, and it's all about feeling-based relating. It is about just witnessing and sharing what I'm feeling. No feedback, no crosstalk, no advice. Just being real. And it felt very safe. And as I started to share, I started to blossom, as they say. It is very, very healing. And the more I shared and was willing to be vulnerable, the more authentic I became. And it turned out that I did have something valuable to share, and that was just the real me. It turned out that there are many things about myself I started discovering once I started feeling comfortable to be authentic. And it's kind of fun. I discovered there were things in my shadow that were delightful, as and I knew that fact existed. I just hadn't experienced it. Um, I discovered I could be funny, which I never thought about myself. And I always, I've taken life seriously, that serious persona for many, many, many years. And I don't do that so much anymore, even though it's comfortable. I'm finding that, push pull. I'm comfortable with this new me, and then I'm not comfortable with the new me. So it's not like, oh, all of a sudden I blossomed and now 100% I'm there every day, because I'm not. I still have my bad habits. I still have my comfort behaviors. I still have fears that come up and say, oh, I want to go back there. I want to go back there. But I don't stay back there very long. So I'm a real proponent of feeling-based relating, coming from the heart and getting out of the head. And that once that once I did it, I discovered things about myself that I just had no idea. You know, I use the phrase from Joel Osteen. He is always reminding people, you are a divine child of the Most High God. Well, after I watched Greg Braden, who I love, anyway, he just shares such great information on the power of our bodies, our hearts, and our brains, and electrical fields, and yada yada. I went, we are magnificent. We are magnificent in terms of our body and the power, but we are also magnificent in terms that we were created by the divine from love. We are a personification of the divine, and when we combine that spiritual essence of who we really are with this fantastic self-healing body that has so much great going on with it that you can't even imagine. I'm sure there's a lot of ancient wisdom we're going to be discovering about the power of our bodies and the power of our hearts. But I don't think we can harness it without healing that shadow stuff. We can't harness it by remaining in our heads. And so that's, oh, so I changed the Joel Osteen. I went from divine child of the Most High God. I said, I'm a divinely magnificent child of the Most High God. And I have felt my heart expanding and things that I used to know intellectually about guilt. And I carried guilt for a lot of years. And someday I may share the story of the events leading up to that. And I suffered an emotional trauma and then what that brought up and how I dealt with it. But you know what? That's not what this is about. This is about healing. And if I want to harness this phenomenal power of my body, I have to open up my heart. And that started with feeling-based relating. So that's my quote-unquote testimonial to feeling-based relating. And now when I interact with people and I'm kind of addicted. There's a spiritual, I've heard two spiritual teachers say humans are addicted to suffering. I think there's a lot of truth in that. I don't think it's a conscious thing, and I don't think it's going to remain that way. So now I'm kind of addicted to feeling-based relating, and I'm not so interested in just head-based relating anymore. I'm interested in sharing from my heart, whether it's from my joy and from my silliness, or from my sadness, from whatever is going on right now within me. And I am experiencing more kindness for myself. When we talk about self-love, and I always say, yeah, that means having compassion, but now I'm feeling it instead of just knowing it. Now I've released the guilt. My heart now knows that I am not guilty. I've got that heart-brain connection. It's no longer just intellectual of, oh yeah, I know spiritually I'm not guilty. And I know spiritually I need to forgive. I'm starting to feel that forgiveness. I'm starting to feel compassion for the child I see in others, that wounded child. ACIM says everything is either an act of love or a call for love. And so when people are being rude or being self-centered or wanting attention, I notice if I'm triggered, if it irritates me, if I find it annoying, I go, oh, the little girl in me wants attention. If she didn't she wants to tell me something, and if she didn't need to tell me anything, that other person wouldn't irritate me. So it all worked. We're all really in this together as far as our ascension and as far as opening up our hearts. I can't do it alone. I, I can't. None of us can. You can sit and you can read all the books you want, and you can meditate for as many hours as you want, and you can eat the right foods and, exercise and do all those things. But it comes down to opening up my heart. And when I was willing to take those steps, then I found the whole world just opened up and all these connections. This is all part of the process. This is all part of the ascension. So, yeah. So I hope I did a good job of sharing how much the feeling based relating has done for me, and that, and I wish I had a joke to tell her something, which I do have one, but it is dirty. And yeah, I'm not going to post anything like that on Facebook, and didn't even use any 4-letter words um, in this. But yeah, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the BNL community and for the people uh, that are having the clubhouse chats, and to Casey for, you know, starting the morning with a smile. And Casey, this is dedicated to you, and I hope you enjoy it. So there's going to be a part 2. It's not going to be just, oh, all this love and light. I think it's going to be cantankerous. I don't know. But I think it'll be full of more energy, because I'm not going to be trying to. I think this is the smoothest video I've done so far. The most polished, as it were. Of course, once I watch it, I'll go, how could I have thought that? And that's why I say coming out of the ego, because I don't care. I don't care. It's irrelevant. It's really irrelevant. Thanks for watching.